lovelies, welcome back. It's your girl Katie here. So today's video I'm going to be doing a current favorites video in makeup products. So basically I'm going to be showing you guys my current favorites in each category. So that'll be like foundation, concealer, blush, bronzer, you know, down the list. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, just showing you guys which products that I'm really been enjoying lately. But yeah, to no further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right on into this video. Alright, so I'm basically going to go down the list as I would apply them on the face, minus primer because I don't have a favorite primer. I just use moisturizer. I don't use primer. So I'm going to start out with foundations first. And my current favorites right now, which is kind of tough because I don't feel like I've for sure found my go-to foundation. I have ones that I like more than others. So that's basically what I'm showing you. I just haven't found that foundation that I can't use any other besides that one kind of thing. So anyways, so the two that I picked was the CoverGirl True Blend Foundation here. This is a liquid foundation. I've used this one up quite a bit actually. I do really like this one. I like how it looks on the skin. And then, just for reference, this is in the shade Classic Ivory. And then the other one that I really like so far is this Catrice Cosmetics one, and this is the True Skin Hydrating foundation in the shade Neutral Ivory because I'm a pale girl. But yeah, so far I've really been enjoying this one for sure. This one's kind of like a more recent find. It is like, it throws you off because it's super watery, but the coverage is what the part that's kind of impressed me more. It's not like the fullest of fullest coverages, but it's pretty decent coverage considering how watery it is. So I've been enjoying these two recently. So there's those for foundations. Now concealers, I have three. I didn't pick like a certain amount in each category. It's just basically I went through my collection, pulled out my favorites, and that's that. So some of them I have one in, some may have two, three. So yeah. So I wasn't like trying to pick a certain number. Anyways, so for concealer, I have three options here. Or I have three favorites. So of course, Tarte Shape Tape. It's been a favorite of mine for a while. I will say I haven't used this one as much because I've been trying to, not because I don't like it, it's just I've been trying to force myself to use other concealers because I know I already like this one. But it's still one of my favorites. I just haven't used it in a while. And then one that I have been enjoying recently, and this one is in my Shop My Stash, is this Dose of Colors one. And this is the Meet Your Hue concealer, and this is in the shade Fair. So like I said, this is currently in my Shop My Stash, and I have used it before, but I have been really enjoying this one lately. The coverage is pretty decent, and it blends out really well, not too drying. And then last but not least is this e.l.f. one here. This is the Hydrating Camo Concealer. I will say, like, I actually like both of them. I should probably pull the other one out. I didn't think about it, but I have the original and then I have this one. This one is definitely more hydrating. I will say the coverage is not as good as the other one. So they're both my favorites, but I just pulled one out. Oh, this is in the shade Fair Beige, if anybody's interested. Alright, so now moving on to face powders. And I only have one favorite face powder, and that is the Airspun one. I've talked about this for years. It's the loose face powder. I think it's translucent, yeah. This is my all-time favorite right now. I haven't found one that I haven't found any other setting powder that I like more than this one. So that's why there's only one. I mean, I have other ones and they're fine. It's just this one's my favorite. But yeah, this one, for the price and the quality, only downfall is the smell, which I don't really mind the smell anymore. I've gotten used to it. But if you're sensitive to smell and stuff, it's not one that lingers on your face. But like when you're applying it, you can definitely smell it, and it smells like your grandma's like old makeup, which I don't really mind that smell, but some people may. Anyway, so only one in face powder category. And then for brows, I have quite a few brow products, but yeah, these are my two favorite currently. So first one is CoverGirl from CoverGirl, and this is the, what are you? Ultra Fine Brow Pencil. This is in the shade Soft Brown. So it's just your typical brow pencil, nothing too fancy or special. But honestly, the reason why this one is mostly my favorite is because I've tried, like I said, I've gotten pencils in BoxyCharm and stuff, and honestly, I think this one's just as good as any of the high-end stuff, like compared to like Anastasia, Hourglass, and all that. I think this one works just as well, and it's more affordable, and I really like how small the little tip is. Just a very fine pencil, so yeah, this one's my favorite. And then one that I've recently kind of discovered and have been enjoying it, which is again currently in my Shop My Stash, is this one from Benefit, and this is the GimMe Brow. It's a brow gel, or it's a tinted like brow gel thing. And honestly, I mean, at first I didn't think I was gonna like this one up, but as I've been using it in my Shop My Stash, I just find that it's so easy to apply. I really like the little wand there. I was kind of concerned at first that I wouldn't like this because it's not like super pigmented, so typically I use a pencil and I would just draw them on, you know, yada yee. And this one, I will say, doesn't always give the most coverage. Like, you can still see it's a little bit kind of like faint there. But after a while, I was kind of liking that because it kind of made it look more natural, not like they were completely drawn on. So, you know, as I've been getting ready, I just, you know, go in quickly, done. And I've just been enjoying that. You know, I don't have to take the time to kind of draw them on. So yeah, so this one's quickly became one of my favorites just with how easy it is to use. And I really like the size of the wand because I have another brow gel. I can't remember which brand it's from, but the wand is huge. So I always feel like I'm making a mess and it makes my brows a lot thicker than they really are. So yeah, that one is just great. All right, so now moving on to bronzer, and I only have one in this category. I looked before I filmed. I went and looked through my bronzers, like which one's my favorite. And to be completely honest, this is my favorite right now. I didn't really feel that any of my other bronzers. Before I say, I should clarify, I've only been picking favorites, like ones that I've used more than once is kind of like my criteria to determine what it's my favorite. I have some bronzers in there that I do really like, but I've only used it like once. So I was like, that's not really fair to be like, this is my favorite if I've only used it once, because in BoxyCharm recently, I've gotten some pretty decent bronzers that I haven't really spent the time to use. But when I did use them the once for like the try on part, I really liked it. So I didn't want to be unfair and be like, yeah, this is my favorite if I haven't actually really gotten to know the product. So I'm only picking through ones that I really have gotten the time to know and stuff, aside from one. There's one product in here that I've only used once, but I'll tell you that reason later on. Anyways, so for bronzer, the one that I've been really enjoying lately is this one from Iconic London. Now, I got this one, sorry, it's hard to show it because it's so shiny and it's dirty. But anyways, I got this one recently in a BoxyCharm. You'd be like, hey, you said recent, so that shouldn't be in your list. Well, this is it in my Shop My Stash right now, and I've used it for several weeks now. And man, I really like how this bronzer looks. So, I didn't tell you what it is. This is the Iconic London Ultimate Bronzing Powder in the shade Medium Bronze. And man, I'm kind of sad about, you know, because this month's almost over, October's almost over, so I'm going to have to switch up my Shop My Stash. But this one has been really good, and I have it on today. And I don't know, I just really like the shade of it. I like how easy it is to blend. And every time I use it, I'm like, this is a beautiful bronzer, and I really like it. So, yeah, highly recommend. I know it's not cheap, though, so if I can find, like, a dupe for this, I will totally tell you if I find one, but as of now, I mean, the pan size is really huge. This is going to last me a really long time, and it's really pigmented, so it doesn't take much, which is nice. But yeah, just chef's kiss. Alright, and blush. Now, blush is kind of hard for me. I have a lot of blushes, but I can't really say that I like certain ones are like my favorite, but I did dwindle it down to ones that I was like, if I could only have like 3, which ones would I pick? Kind of thing. But, so, like I said, I have 3 here. So, first up is from Alamar Cosmetics. This one's been a favorite of mine for a while, and it's really only because of one shade. But this is the Carlet Blush Trio in the shade Fair Light. Now, I know they changed the packaging, so I don't know if you can get this exact one, but I think they still have the shades in their other palette. But anyways, from Alamar Cosmetics, here's what the palette looks like. And honestly, the reason why I love this one the most is because of this middle shade. These two shades on the edge are not so bad. I could probably mix them, but the main reason why I like it is because of this middle shade. This middle shade is just gorgeous. And it feels so nice and creamy. I'm going to swatch it just because. It probably doesn't look the most impressive, but whenever I wear it, I'm just like, I love this shade. So there's one. I forgot to tell you how many I had in this category. I have 3. And then 2 from Colourpop. So I have this one in the shade Palateel. It's this beautiful, like, I would almost say like neutral color. But it's really pretty, and I don't know, it's just a gorgeous shade. I don't know how to explain it. Just looks gorgeous on the skin. There it is, swatched. And then the other Colourpop one that I really like is the My Type one. And this is a pressed powder. My Type is the shade, and it's from their Valentine's Day collection. It's a pretty brightish pink one. It's not super bright, but it looks bright in the pan. I will say it's like a little bit chalky, but the pigmentation is still definitely there. And I do like pink, my pink blushes. So there you go. So those are my 3 favorite blushes. As far as I know, you can still get all these products, but I didn't really do my research, so I hope none of these have been discontinued, but if they have, sorry, but yeah, anyways. So moving on to highlighter now. You know I love me a highlighter, and this one was tough to kind of pick my favorites out of because I do like a lot of highlighters. But I picked 3 that I really feel that are my favorites. So first up is, again, one that's still currently in my Shop My Stash. But this is one from Wanderous Beauty. And this is the After Hours Wanderous Glow Illuminator. It's in the shade After Hours. And I do have it on today. And I don't know, I've just really been enjoying this one. And I've used it quite a bit. Here's what it looks like. And the thing I like about this one is, you know me, I love a blinding highlighter. And for the most part this is, but it's almost like a different kind of blinding. I have it on right now. And I would almost say that it gives you more like a wet look. Like, not like a bam, it's more like a gradual, like you turn your face, you see it, it's there, but it's not like bam. But you could build it up to that. Anyways, here it is swatched. I know, it's just a nice, it's not subtle though, I would say it is blinding, but not in like a way that you just see this streak on your face. It just kind of like, it just blends really well into the skin. I don't really know how to explain it. I'm not explaining it very well, but I'll just let the product speak for itself. Because like on the tip of my nose, it's blinding, and on my Cupid's bow, but like on my cheeks, it just blends out really well. Anyways, so that one's been my favorite lately. And then this one here, this duo from Complex Culture. It's a highlighting palette. Here's what it looks like. I can't only wear this shade. This one's too dark for me, but the shade here is really, really pretty. Really like it. Great quality, and this one is definitely a blinding one. And you can definitely tell I've been enjoying it. You can see if my lights aren't too blinding. There's a little bit of a dip in there. So I really like that one. And then next up from Catrice Cosmetics is the Sungasm Highlighter. And this is actually a face and body highlighter, but I of course use it only for the face. But I don't know why people don't talk about this more, because this huge thing is only like $10, but the quality of it is so good. Like, it's super, super blinding, and it's just as good as some of the high-end highlighters that I've used, like Ofra, or even like Jaclyn Hill's Cosmetics or Too Faced. I mean, there it is swatched down there, and it is just so pigmented, so blinding. I don't know why people don't talk about this product more, because it is so good. And yeah, and like $10 for this huge pan. I mean, look at it. Look at the size of it compared to my face. It's huge. This is going to last me forever. And yeah, it's just a really good highlighter. Alright, so that's it for highlighters. Now I'm going to move on to eyeshadow palettes, and I will warn you, all my favorites are neutral palettes because that's what your girl likes. So first up would be one, of course, from Colourpop, because I love Colourpop, but it's the Going Coconuts palette. I love this palette. It is so good. And by the way, I'm not trying to make you go out and buy stuff because I'm not a salesperson, but these are just my favorites. Anyways, so here it is, very, very neutral. But it's just a really good everyday palette. I love the shimmer shades in here. Especially love this middle one. This one's my favorite. And the shades are just ones that I really like. I love these cool toned browns over here. I just love to put these in the crease and then pop a shimmer on and deepen up the corners. That's basically what I do all the time. But yeah, I really like this one. And then one that kind of surprised me that's my favorite, because again, I only picked from the palettes that I've for sure used and loved. Not trying to go based off of just one-time use, except for the next product, which is one that I've only used once, but I allowed myself to pick this one as my favorite because I already know it's going to be my favorite. So this one actually surprised me. This is a goodie, but an oldie. This is the first Naked palette from Urban Decay. And the reason why I didn't think this one would become my favorite I didn't think this one would be my favorite is just from the color story. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, but sometimes when I look at it, I'm just like, that looks kind of boring. But this one I used in a Shop My Stash a while back, and I just really enjoyed using it. Even though it was kind of boring and kind of simple looking, it worked. It worked for me. And one of the things that I was really leery about is there's only three mattes, which typically, if you know how I do my makeup, I like a light brown matte, and then I like a darker matte shade to deepen up corners. And so when I was using this, I was like, oh my gosh, there's not a dark matte shade. What am I going to do to deepen up my crease? Because that's how I do my makeup. I deepen the outer corners. And surprisingly, these shades over here worked really well. These dark ones, even though these are shimmers, like this one especially, I think it's the one I used all constantly, it worked great for the outer corner. Didn't have, like, it's shimmery, but it didn't show shimmery. So yeah, it just worked out really well, and I really enjoyed the shimmer shades, and yeah, it became my favorite, surprisingly. And then last in the category is the one that I'm talking about, where I've only used it once, but I knew it's gonna be my favorite, is this Too Faced Born This Way Neutral Nudes. Now, I was fortunate enough to have gotten this during the 21 Days of Ulta sale because they had this half off, and I've been wanting this for a really long time, but look how beautiful that is. And yes, I have only used it once, but I can just tell that it's going to be my favorite because of the palette, the colors in it, and just, it's everything I ever wanted in a palette. And I'm sure that's being dramatic, but here. So I love these, like the mattes here, just simple. These are shades that I would use all the time. And then of course I have a shade here to deepen up my corners, and then I have my selection of shimmers here. So I would probably favor more towards this side because I prefer more like lighter tone shimmers, but you know, it's good to have options. Got a darker gold over here, kind of a bronzy or dark brown, and then a bronzy shade. But yeah, I allowed myself to pick this one because it's one that I knew that it was going to become my favorite. Anyway, so really good. So far, what I've used of it, I've really liked. So almost done. I only got 3 more categories. So kind of one I decided to include is eyeliners because eyeliner is important, at least to me, in makeup. So I have 3 eyeliners that are my favorites and that I use every time I do my makeup. So first up is the cream eyeliner. So I use this one from Colourpop. This is the cream gel liner in the shade Exit. It's the white. I really like this one to pop in the bottom waterline. I just feel like it brightens up my eyes really, really good, and it's very pigmented, and it lasts quite a while in my waterline. And then one that I've been using in my top waterline is this one from Tarte. And honestly, this one's just the favorite out of all of my collection. Like, I have quite a few eyeliners, but this is the one I reach for the most. It's just a black. And I don't know, I like it. It does have like a duo, so it's the cream on one side and the liquid on the other side. I haven't used the liquid side yet, so I can't say that one's my favorite, but because I use this liquid eyeliner all the time, and this one is my favorite. I've bought this twice now. And this is the Hank & Henry Slick With It in the shade Lickety Black. It's just a really good eyeliner. I love the little applicator, so easy to use, very pigmented. Yeah, those are my favorite eyeliners currently. So next up is mascara, and I only have one in this category. And I've tried a lot of mascaras, and this is the only one that I can see myself repurchasing again and again. And that is the one by Maybelline. It's the Sky High Mascara. Now, I know this one became pretty popular on TikTok, so it was being sold out a lot. But I did use it, and I do really, really enjoy it. I mean, it's not like, I don't want you, if you do go out and purchase this, I don't want you to be expecting you to have like so volumized lashes, but I do feel like this one does a pretty decent job at volumizing my lashes. I mean, it's not going to make you look like you have falsies, but it will give you that volume. And, you know, it's Maybelline, so it's affordable, which is important. And yeah, I just really enjoyed using this one. I used it in one of my Shop My Stashes for like a month. I think I might have even decided to use it for 2 months. I might not have switched it out, but I've really liked it, and I can see myself buying this over and over again. Whereas some of my other mascaras, they're good, but I mean, like, they're not great, and I wouldn't purchase them again. All right, and then last but not least in this current favorites video is lip products. So I have 2 liquid lipsticks that I really, really like and enjoy using, and they are both from Dose of Colors. Dose of Colors has one of my favorite liquid lipsticks formula. I just think they are super comfortable and easy to apply, and that they dry down and they stay put for the most part. You know, if you go rubbing and tugging and eating lots of stuff, they will come off, but that's what I have on now is one of them. So I have the one in the shade Truffle, which is my absolute favorite nude. I've talked about this one quite a bit on my channel. And then for reds, I really like this one here in the shade Date Night. So I'll go ahead and swatch them. I'll swatch the red. I probably won't swatch the nude because I'm wearing it today. So there's the red swatch. It's a very pretty, bright red, but again, it mostly has to do with the formula of the liquid lipsticks. I just think the formula is really comfortable. It doesn't make my lips look overly dry or anything, and yeah, these are the best ones that I've tried so far. And then just regular lipstick. So I have 2 here that are from Bite Beauty. They're minis, but they're my favorite nudes. So this one's in the shade Cocoa Bite. I've used this one quite a bit. Alright, so one's in the shade Cocoa Bite, and then the other one is in the shade Good Juby or something, and this one I've used down quite a bit. But anyways, I've swatched them here for you. This one's Cocoa Bite, and then this one's Good Juby. I just think they're really good nude shades, and they're pretty comfortable to wear. And then I have another one here that's recently become my favorite, and this is from the brand Floss, which I've never heard of before until I got it in my BoxyCharm box. This is in the shade Sandals, and it's actually a cheek and lip tint, but I just use it for lips because I'm not a big fan of cheek tints. Anyways, here's the shade. This is very pretty nude color, of course, because I love my nudes. Let me swatch it here. I'll swatch that in a terrible spot, so let me re-swatch that. So there it is there. It's kind of more like a pinky-ish nude, but it's pretty comfortable to wear, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful shade. So that's all of them. That's all of my current favorite makeup products. I didn't have a favorite setting spray. I just haven't found one that I really, really like, and honestly, I don't really know if setting sprays does anything for me. But yeah, those are all my current favorites. Those are the products that I've really been enjoying lately. Whenever I look at my collection, those are the ones that my eyes kind of draw to. I do have really a decent sized collection, so it was kind of hard to pick my favorites. But yeah, that is going to do it for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up because that really does help out my channel. And also let me know down in the comments what you guys thought of my current favorites. And also let me know if you like seeing videos like this, and feel free to leave me suggestions down below for video ideas. But yeah, other than that, hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye!